Hello Blazers, it is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian. How you guys doing today? Welcome to a brand new video. In today's video guys, we're gonna be discussing something that is very interesting and something that I feel like needs to be cleared up a little bit. Because a lot of the people have no idea how this actually works. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm like a specialist in this either, but my understanding of this is not as one-dimensional as some people. Basically guys, if you've been watching my channel for the past month or so after the recent events in Ukraine, my overall message for a lot of these videos was that the average Russian people, a lot of them actually didn't really want it to happen. I've said that multiple times now, and pretty much every single time that I say it, I get destroyed in the comments by people who are saying, Roman, you're completely wrong, because according to the polls of the Russian government, over 70% or like close to 80% of the people are in support of the special military operation, and also, in fact, the Russian people's support for Putin has actually increased. So essentially I'm wrong, and I see that argument as well a lot on Reddit, because I go on Reddit like r/world news and people discussing with whatever's going on with Russia, and you get these like absolutely deranged comments from people saying, you know, that Russians are like the scum of the earth and should just be cut off from everything. They should be deported from every single country that they live in and go back to Russia. Literally, people are leaving comments like that. Not even exaggerated, okay? And usually when these people's takes are challenged by somebody, their response or their argument is, you're wrong, like 74 or 80% of Russian people are in support of this, so they are terrible people, all of them. They shouldn't have the right to exist. Which honestly, if you want to battle fascism, is kind of a weird thing to say, okay? Well guys, in today's video I want to discuss whether actually like 70 or 80% of Russians are supporting the special operation in Ukraine, and also just kind of describe how polling in Russia works in general. These people who take these poll results at face value and believe them, they're gonna have no idea what polling actually works like in Russia. And spoiler alert, it's very different from polling in Western Europe or America or any other more liberal democratic country. So first of all, let's outline the stats that we're talking about. Okay, here's the thing. Usually the majority of the polling on the territory of Russia is handled by an organization known as FTOM, which in English is called the Russian Public Opinion Research Center, which is, pay very close attention, a state-owned institution. Okay, so let's see the data that this research center has provided us. On the 23rd of March of 2022, they conducted a poll, actually published the results of a poll about the support of the special military operation in Ukraine. And according to their data, the special operation in Ukraine is supported by 74% of the Russian citizens. 17% said that they do not support it, and 9% decided to not answer. Also, according to their data, the amount of people who actually want to protest against the government has decreased. So in January 2022, 17% of respondents said that they have some reasons and they have a desire to protest against the government. However, in March 2022, only 10% of Russians said that they will actually protest against the government in some sort of way. Also, according to another organization that actually conducts polls in Russia called Levada Center, which is actually considered a foreign agent in Russia, which is pretty interesting as well, right? I think that's because sometimes their polling results don't really coincide with the position of the state media and stuff, so. But even they recently published the results of a poll according to which, in February, Putin's approval rating was 71%, and now in March, it's 83%. So the conclusion is very simple here, right guys? The Russian people are all in complete and total support of the government and what is going on in Ukraine. No. It's not that simple. I'm gonna give you guys sort of anecdotal and also real reasoning why you should be skeptical of these results. First of all, you gotta understand that the majority of polling in Russia is being conducted by the state. And when people are getting called up, essentially by what seems to be a governmental institution, and you live in a country where, I mean, technically, being publicly against the military operation could actually land you in jail for up to 15 years, you gotta understand that the people that are being called by a governmental institution that's asking them, hey bro, do you support the military operation? Do you really think the person on the other side of the phone is going to be completely and 100% transparent and honest and is gonna respond anyway? Look guys, just from my experience, right? I've been polled maybe 2 times in my whole life, or 3 or something like that, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I have never responded. I usually just pick up my phone and they're like, hey, this is a poll, you know, we're asking people's opinions, and I'm like, immediately just hang up. First of all, I don't want to waste my time. You gotta understand that the people who usually respond to polls have nothing to do, okay? Like, this is part of it as well, right? Like, what kind of people do you think are, like, the biggest fans of Putin? It's either, like, 70-year-old grandmas that are just sitting at home who just watch the Russian TV, state propaganda, and they don't know anything else, or it's just random, like, 40-year-old Russian guys that like to drink and work at a factory or something, you know? Who would just watch TV and don't even consume much of alternative media either. And these people don't have much going on in their life, so these are the kind of people that are gonna be given answers to begin with. And even if in the midst of these people, there's some people who don't agree with what's going on, they're probably either going to say they support it to sort of, you know, cover their tracks a little bit, or they're going to say that they're not sure, or they're just gonna hang up, just like I did. I mean, I just never gave an answer, and I feel like that is what happens to majority of people. You gotta understand that when you live in an authoritarian country, and the government essentially calls you and is like, yo, what's up, bro? You think the president is great and you support the party and everything that it does and everything that it's ever done? If you don't, by the way, you're gonna go to jail for 15 years. Even if you don't, you're gonna be like, yeah, I guess it's cool. I guess I support everything. Yeah, it's all good. You get what I mean. And you guys gotta understand, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a sociologist, so the way I'm describing this is like very simple. But actually, I want to show you an excerpt from a video I watched recently, an interview with a Russian sociologist who actually knows what he's talking about. And he was asked about the approval rates of the special operation in Putin at the moment and what the stats are showing, if it's true or not. And this was his answer.
Я там часто призываю быть аккуратным очень с опросами. С опросами вообще в России вдвойне, а сегодня там в десятерне. В России и так-то низкий уровень ответов на вопросы, и люди, которые отвечают на вопросы, в целом исходят из того, что они общаются напрямую с государством. А в условиях там военных действий опасения вырастают многократно. И мы видим по всем исследованиям, которые сейчас проводятся, независимые, да, что падает уровень ответов, что люди рассказывают о страхе, спрашивают интерьеров прямо, арестуют ли меня. Я думаю, что ключом здесь, конечно, является желание огромного числа наших соотечественников, в общем, продолжать жить своей спокойной приватной жизнью.
So yeah, that's basically what I said, but put more eloquently, should I say. And you guys just have to understand that in a country where you cannot say everything that you think, the polling results are gonna be way off. To be honest, polls in general suck, kind of, even in Western countries, but imagine how much they suck here. Now, here's the next point I want to make as well about, this is not even like empirical evidence, because this is also based on another poll, but I feel like it gives my arguments a little bit more of a substance. So another polling organization in Russia, which is not governmental, but I think is also related to the government, they've recently released another poll, actually on the 29th of March, about the overall mental state of the people and their hopes for the future in Russia. And you just always love to see articles like this, by the way, like this article, I'm on a pro-Kremlin website right now, and the article says, Fund Общественное мнение has noticed a rise in optimism among Russians. Yeah, boy, it's fucking great. Russia is doing so good. Yes! We're optimistic as fuck right now, dude. Anyway, here are the results. According to the data, 33% of the people that responded are saying that they think that in 6 months or a year, life in Russia will get better. 20% think that nothing will really change, and 26% think that everything is gonna get way worse. So the thing why I decided to look at this poll is that, well, it doesn't look that jolly, does it? When only 33% of the respondents said that everything is gonna get great in the future. And 26%, which is a pretty sizable amount actually, say that everything is gonna get pretty bad. And I mean, to be completely honest, we gotta also apply to this poll the fact that a lot of the people probably don't even want to express their real opinion. So it might be slightly skewed as well, but the reason why I decided to talk about this poll is because, like, if you kind of think about it, and I understand this is not like a direct correlation or anything, but if 74% of the people in Russia are in support of the special military operation, then why do only 33% of the people think that something will be great in the future for Russia? I mean, technically, if you think that all of this is great and you support Russia, then I guess you gotta think that the country is going in the right direction and it's only developing, it's getting better, and it's gonna be amazing soon, right? Well, that doesn't really seem like that's the case, because again, only 33% of the people have positive thoughts about what's gonna happen in the future. And the reason why I'm comparing these two polls about the special operation and this is because this right here is also a political poll, kind of, but the question is just not direct. So when you get a call and you're immediately asked about, so what do you think about the special military operation, you're gonna be like a little bit tensed up because it's a controversial topic, and also you understand you can't really say much. But if you get in a call and somebody's asking you if you think the future will be good or bad, or if it will not change at all, it's slightly related to the way the country is going in politics, but also not really. It's just super vague, right? So here you kind of have a more of a freedom of expressing your opinion. And we can just tell that a much smaller percentage of people actually thinks that everything's great, and a way bigger percentage of people actually think that everything is kind of fucked. And I know you guys are gonna be like, Roman, you're a genius, or this is dumb as fuck, either one of those. I didn't actually come up with this theory or with this idea to compare these two polls. I've actually seen Russian sociologists talk about this and saying that this shows that in a country where freedom of speech is limited, you cannot fully believe these polls, okay? So yeah, I feel like that is very important. And also one thing I want to discuss as well is, you gotta understand that polls, since in Russia the majority of them are conducted by governmental, state-owned institutions, largely these polls actually don't matter much, and really what they do is that they're supposed to just create news and show the people that, you know, the person reading should just believe that everybody around them sort of agrees with them if he, you know, supports the ruling party's line, or if you're a person who thinks otherwise. These news headlines are basically meant to make you feel like you're alone and nobody thinks like you, and nobody supports you, and nobody, you know, opposes whatever is going on. And these polls have been conducted for a long time, and they've always been a very effective and very strong method of propaganda, because when you constantly go online and you see that a new poll has shown that everything in Russia is doing great and Russians are loving everything that is happening, you're like, hey, I guess it's not that bad, right? So yeah, I mean, these polls are literally bullshit. And the problem is, as well, I think, is that I want to actually talk to the Westerners watching this video. Maybe you guys, before you watch this video, you actually believed these polls. You actually thought that, yes, like 80% of Russians support the special military operation or whatever. And the reason why I think that Westerners actually believe this is because I see this take all the time online. Constantly, people are saying Russians are warmongering assholes. All of them are supporting this. 80%. They're terrible people and stuff. It's really weird, right, that you guys don't believe anything that comes out of Russian propaganda, Russian state TV, or Russian officials' mouth, but then you literally believe the polling results that come straight from governmental institutions. Believing these poll results is the same as believing what any, you know, Russian TV channel has to say. And Westerners don't usually tend to believe what Russian TV channels have to say, right? So why do they believe what these polls say? You guys gotta understand, right, that by believing this and spreading this information and making it such a big topic where everybody uses this as an argument now to say that Russians are terrible people, essentially, you do understand that you're literally spreading Russian propaganda. You might think that you're fighting against it, you might think that you're fighting against the regime, but you're actually spreading straight up Russian propaganda, because these poll results literally are just that. So yeah, just stop doing it, I guess. Russian propaganda is doing well enough. We don't need to spread any more of it. And yeah, I mean, this is gonna be probably pretty much it for today's video. This is all I wanted to say today. Just wanted to make a video about this because people talk about this all the time in the West, and I don't think it's that true. Anyways, guys, if you did enjoy this video, if you did find it entertaining, please make sure to slap the like button on it. As well, guys, if you want to support me additionally, then go over down to the description. I got the addresses of my crypto wallets down there. You can donate to me if you want me to eat, I don't know. And yeah, guys, this is gonna be pretty much it for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.